One of the organisers of the conference, Dr. Jennifer Ballantyne Pereira of the Garrison Library, says she was very pleased with how it's gone and that there was an indication of how well it would be received considering the subject matter, which touches many people not only in Gibraltar but the nearby area. With a diverse pool of speakers touching on everything from language shift to post-colonialism, the turnout for the speeches showed there was a thirst to develop our understanding of why Gibraltarians are the way we are.
This goes back to the point at which the geopolitical discourse finds expression in a very powerful way. Once we have the Queen's visit during her just after her coronation, Commonwealth visit in 1954, we see a change. We see a change in how our neighbours respond to us, because clearly there is an issue in terms of a claim, a historic claim. But then what follows after that is that the Spanish Ministry of Foreign Affairs produces a Red Book on Gibraltar. And in that Red Book on Gibraltar, a number of many articles, historical papers were compiled. But Castella, who was then the foreign minister, wrote also that Gibraltar was populated by a settler community, not by real Gibraltarians, not by people with an identity. And he went a long way to suggest, clearly very erroneously, that Gibraltarians were just a made-up people with no sense of identity, no language, and nothing that anchored them to Gibraltar. And from that moment on, Gibraltar and Gibraltarians have always felt the need to be able to challenge that view, because clearly it is not the correct view.
Stuart Ward, who also spoke at the event, complimented what he called the extraordinary group of people at the conference, all offering different perspectives and not just listening, but engaging and asking questions on problems and issues, as he put it, still burning today.
I'm a historian. I'm a historian of the British Empire, and I'm also a historian of the idea of Britain and Britishness. And one of the things it's particularly intriguing about the Gibraltar story, the Gibraltar struggle over 50, 60, 70 years to establish its claim and its right to remain British, is that during that time, in those years, over those decades, the idea of Britishness itself has been in flux. It's always been changing. And so Gibraltar and Gibraltarians have had to always maintain some kind of sense of connection with that changing idea of Britishness to pitch their claims within the ever-moving terrain of what it means to be British.
Many of the guests and speakers were amazed by the interest and the amount of debate. Dr. Levy, for example, specialises in languages, and in particular the language used by youngsters.
Well, from a Spanish point of view, I would say embrace Spanish. There's huge advantages in bilingualism, and I think if it's possible, it's very easy to say from an outsider's point of view, is to try and forget politics. Just accept that knowing two languages, being monolingual, has its disadvantages. Being perfectly bilingual has huge advantages. As for Llanito, I think enjoy it. I don't think it's at present a prestigious variant, but it's a fun variant, and it's a way of identity.
The former director of the Instituto Cervantes spoke about how poorly understood Gibraltar is in the Campo de Gibraltar and Spain generally, and vice versa. The full house at the Garrison Library gave Francisco Oda a very warm ovation. A Viewpoint programme will explore the conference in more depth very soon.